Hey guys, Don Brown here, Mr. Too Easy, America. So I was watching a segment that Ti did. I forgot who he interviewed, but some guy, and he asked about why did Trump say there's good people on both sides of the Charlottesville protest? Why did Trump deny aid to Puerto Rico during the hurricane? And why did Trump say there's rat infested in Baltimore? Okay, so T.I., I'm going to answer your questions, and then I'm going to ask you a few questions, okay? So, one, hey, I'm a conservative, but I also do a lot of research, okay? So, I believe there's always two sides to a story, and I like to do the best I can to answer the questions that you had. So let's start off with the why Trump said there's good people on both sides. So I'm gonna pull up the interview, and let me turn the volume up so you can hear it. Okay, so listen to this very carefully. All right.
Well, I do think there's blame. Yes, I think there's blame on both sides. You look at both sides. I think there's blame on both sides, and I have no doubt about it, and you don't have any doubt about it either. And if you reported it accurately, you would say.
Kill the person. Heather Heyer Charlottesville.
They showed up in Charlottesville to protest. And you had some very bad people in that group, but you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name.
So nationalist
Well, no, George Washington was a slave owner. Was George Washington a slave owner? So will George Washington now lose his status? Are we going to take down, are we going to take down statues to George Washington? How about Thomas Jefferson? What do you think of Thomas Jefferson? You like him? Okay, good. Are we going to take down the statue? Because he was a major slave owner. Now we're going to take down his statue. So you know what? It's fine. You're changing history, you're changing culture, and you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And the press has treated them absolutely unfairly. Now, in the other group also, you had some fine people, but you also had troublemakers, and you see them come with the black outfits and with the helmets and with the baseball bats. You had a lot of bad people in the other group too.
So now that's about 3 minutes of the interview. Okay, so now he did say it was good people on both sides. Yes, he did say that. So let me tell you why. Okay, so he kind of elaborated. Okay, there was some peaceful people. Okay, and then there was some bad people amongst the peaceful people. So of course you had, after I did the research, I looked at about 10 videos. Okay, so there was one group that did do a protest, and they did all the paperwork. Okay, so I found out there were 10 different hate groups. Okay, that came out. Okay, 10 different symbols, 10 different hate groups, and of course they were. I saw some Jewish people out there, some black people out there, Spanish people out there, and they were singing, they were holding hands, and hold the whole 9 yards. Okay, so I also saw the fight that broke out. The fight that broke out was only whites against whites. So there's good people on both sides, yes, and it's a true statement because there was some peaceful, I guess, out of the 10 different groups, there was some peaceful white people protesting, holding hands, chanting, their little thing they wanted to do. Okay, they didn't start the fight. But for the ones that did start the fight, those weren't the good people. So if you look at these videos, there's 10 different hate groups, and let's say there's 5 good groups that weren't hate groups. Okay, there was Spanish groups out there, Latino, Black, Jewish, all sorts of nationalities out there, Muslim, that was all for the good of the people, okay? So those some good people also. But when the fight broke out, it was only white versus white. I did not see, in none of the 10 clips I saw, 20 clips I saw, that anyone was fighting anyone of, as you guys say, the media, people of color. So out of all those hate groups, if they hate black people so much, why didn't they beat up people of color? That's just a food for thought for you, okay? Secondly, the Puerto Rico hurricane assistance. Okay, now I got my information from the news, also from 7 veterans that currently live in Puerto Rico, and it's always lived in Puerto Rico because they're in the United States Army. Okay, so when it happened, he had called, most of us that's in our circle, hit us up on FaceTime, called us via telephone, and was saying, what we can do, through Wounded Warrior Project and through some other resources with cards and stuff like that. So when I saw on the news that when I say we, the United States, and Puerto Rico is part of the United States sent 4,000 containers once the storm stopped, because you can't send anything when the storm's going on. No, planes were grounded, ships were grounded, everything. 4,000 sea containers, okay? That was the initial first push, okay? So doing that initial first push, after they received the 4,000 containers, their truckers did a strike. Now they were getting anywhere from $14 to $20 an hour. So they decided to put on a strike and said they wanted more money, okay? And this is what I saw in the news. So truckers stopped shipping. Okay, these are Puerto Rican truckers, okay? They stopped shipping the stuff to where it's supposed to be at, okay? Because they wanted more money. So then the governor of Puerto Rico came on the news, said Donald Trump had stopped aid. But if you look at the video, the 3 videos I saw, one for MSNBC or whatever it's called, CNN and NBC, there were pallets of food behind her, pallets of water behind her that said property of the U.S. government. So if we denied aid, she was in a warehouse, it was at least 100 pallets behind her of food and water. But her whole issue was we stopped aid. Okay, so then, after the first push, they was already pushing more shipment. So they shipped another 6,000 containers. So total 10,000 containers of food, water, clothing, supplies, the whole 9 yards. Okay, so we didn't stop any aid. We didn't hold any aid. Because remember, once the first hurricane hit, we shipped the stuff over there. Then there was another storm that hit. It wasn't as big as a hurricane, but it was another storm. So there was a little break in between. Okay, so once that stopped, we sent more aid. Okay, so that's the answer to your second question. So the third question is, why did Donald Trump say Baltimore was rat infested and it's poor? And what else was it? Yeah, rat infested and poor. Okay, so let's think about this. Now we have a lot of celebrities came out of Baltimore. Okay, a lot of celebrities. On the TV now doing like CNN. Whether it's the TV host, and now she's gotten out of, well, no, she's still in the TV host, or movie stars or rappers or stuff like that came out of Baltimore. In the past 10 years, okay, they had so much corruption in Baltimore with the past 3 mayors, police chief, and a couple delegates. So the government gives money to Baltimore, but yet Baltimore is still looking like slums. Now, yeah, we had a big guy by the name of Milt Peterson redo the Inner Harbor, okay? Put all that money into that, okay? But that's only one part of Baltimore. Let's talk about the the part of Baltimore that's a little not as well off. That's what he's talking about. So I grew up in Lanham Seabrook area in Maryland. That's about 30 minutes south of Baltimore. Now I hung out in Baltimore because they have some nice bars there, okay? And let me tell you something. There's one stretch that they showed on the news. Now I'm in my 40s. Now, when I grew up in there in the Baltimore area, one street had a tree growing through the house. And that was 15 years ago. It's still like that. And guess what? There's still a whole bunch of dumping grounds where people put tires, washing machines, mattresses, and guess what? They don't pick it up. And it's right there on that stretch. So you have maybe, I would say, 6 blocks of nothing but that. And let me tell you something, rats is an understatement. They're like field rats. These things are big as cats and dogs. So, so it's not a non-true statement. And even when I did the research, I did the videos, there was a lot of people that currently live in Baltimore said, well, what the president said was kind of harsh, but it's true because we live here every day. But we're still going to move on. But you have these elected officials that live there in Baltimore and don't do anything about it. So T.I., I ask you, so instead of nitpicking on what the president may say, why don't you find out the source and why he said it? Because at the end of the day, let's say this, we're all human. When we get in our little circles, because you're a celebrity, you're a star, a millionaire, whatever you want to call yourself, you get in your circles and you say stuff, but you don't say it publicly. So do you think you're better than anyone else? So why don't you go to Baltimore and drive through and ask and say, hey, how long has this been like this? Or once you buy property in Baltimore, because you have the resources, and guess what? Make that part look good again, be great again. Put your name on it, I don't care. So, since you are an intelligent man, think about this. I saw the other video that you talked about, that you get your daughter, go to the doctor and the doctor tell you if she's still a virgin or not. So I got a question for you, because I have 2 daughters and 2 sons. In my opinion, and this is just raising my household, I tell my children what to look out for, the right things to do, and hopefully and prayerfully they do the right decisions. If I take my daughter to the doctor every 6 months, every 2 months, every year to see if she's still a virgin, she can still do oral sex and she still can do anal. So what have you actually done? Did you push her for alternate route, or are you still teaching her the right things? Just food for thought. Guys, tell me what you think. Like, subscribe, share, do whatever you want to do. But common sense isn't so common. You can take a person and say, you know what? I'm gonna make sure you don't be on drugs, or you don't be in the bad element, and you move to Malibu somewhere, move to LA somewhere, and you with them 24/7. But guess what? You got to go to sleep. So they may sneak out the house, or they may get with their friends, and their friends say, hey, why don't you try this? But you've done all you can to prevent that from happening. But have you? Because if you don't educate, everything you're doing is for nothing. You must educate first. Trust and believe and have faith. So as I always say, guys, be mentally strong, physically strong, socially strong, and spiritually strong. Peace.